Strange talk this is. A water that you could drink of, then never thirst again. Well, she thought this was a pretty good idea, so she said, well, give me a drink of this water so that I don't have to come to this well every day. I don't like coming here. Give me a drink of this living water that you have so I don't have to come and drink from the well. He said to her, call your husband. Now here's where things get a little bit touchy. Call your husband. And her mind began to roll. Call your husband. My husband. Can you imagine what she's going through? What am I going to do? I don't have a husband. Okay, she's at least admitted something here. I really don't have a husband. And then Jesus says, you're right. You've told the truth. You don't have a husband, but you've had 5. Wow. And now you're living with a man now, and you're not even married to him. Mercy. You know, this is the kind of person we usually don't want to have anything to do with. This is the kind of person we run from. We feel like we're going to be drawn into something here, and we get very touchy. Here's a person living a very vile, loose type of life. She's ran through 5 husbands. She has the 6th one ready, moved in with him, but no ceremony yet. And this is the person that Jesus went out of the way to meet. He went there to talk to this woman. I find so much significance in that, in Jesus being a very personal Savior, concerned about the person whose life is a mess. You know, November we will celebrate 33 years, and we've had a wonderful 33 years, and the people that have come to our altars over these years and the different places we've worshiped, and here there have been thousands. And all we pastors, in the early days, of course, I was a pastor and trying to herd all of these babies, bringing in pastors, but we would deal with people who came to the Lord and were born again, and then they would come to us for a time of counseling, and they would say, maybe this woman was one of them. Here I am at this point in life, and I've got 3 or 4 wives, a bunch of children. I'm not legally married to the one I'm with now. We had these kind of situations. And we struggled with how to deal with them. Jesus didn't seem to have a problem with this woman. He knew her. Mysteriously, he knew her. He knew about her 5 husbands that had gone on their way, and here was a woman who was thirsty. She seemed to be trying to find a level of contentment for her life in relationships, in wrong kind of relationships from one man to another man. It could have very well been a man going to other women. It's this thing of trying to find some kind of meaningful relationship that will bring contentment and peace to us. And one person does it, we move on to another person. We do it in marriage, we do it in friendships, we do it in churches, we do it in our jobs. Always moving and moving and moving, looking, searching, trying to find something to bring us some kind of contentment. We are restless. Some of us are in turmoil as we struggle, looking for contentment, looking to peace. You remember Jesus said to the crowd very loudly in the temple area, he said, anyone thirsts, let him come to me. And here was a woman who was definitely thirsty. And Jesus knew it. And Jesus said to him, to her, you have told the truth. At this point, you don't have a husband. The man you're living with now is not your husband. She begins to realize that someone very special was talking to her. Someone who would know the details of your life like this, and he was a perfect stranger to you who had never met him, but he was able to give these details about your life, and she begins to realize someone very special was speaking to her. And naturally, she began to think that he was a prophet. I perceive that maybe you're a prophet. And I suppose that's what we would do if someone came up to us, begin speaking about things of our past. I think maybe you are a prophet. She didn't realize that much more than a prophet was with her, was speaking to her. Being able to know this woman's past was very insignificant to him. He knew all people's past. He knows us so well. When we come to Christ, when we awaken through a sermon that's preached, a song that's sung, we come to Christ through the new birth experience. We've got to understand that He knows you. He knows everything about you. Before you come to Him, He knows who you are. And He loves you. He loved this woman. Why would he put so much effort into reaching that particular spot, that well, and send the apostles away so He could have a one-on-one with her, so He could talk to her? He loved her. In her sins, in her failures, her faults, her struggles, her discontentment, He loved her. And in His love for her, He wanted to do something about her situation. He wanted to give her peace. And Jesus is still the same. He wants to do something about our situation. When we are in turmoil, we're struggling in inner struggles and turmoil, and we can't find peace and rest. He knows that our restlessness, He becomes aware of it. He wants to minister to us. The problem usually becomes that we are simply too distracted to go to Him. So day after day we struggle, looking, searching, not finding what we need. He was to reveal to her that He was more than just a prophet. Prophets are great. The prophets of the Old Testament, I love reading these Old Testament prophets. Don't always understand some of their writings, but I love reading these prophets, and we need prophets around us in the proper form. But there was much more than a prophet, and He was going to reveal this to her, and He reveals something maybe openly for the very first time. We're not really sure, but it could very well be the very first time when He reveals to this woman that He is the Messiah.